Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on how to make these 3 steps pleated flare. So if this is what interests you, ensure to stay to the end so you can follow all the steps I use in making this beautiful 3-step pleated flare. So guys, I actually made this for my client. She actually ordered for this one on the screen, and this is the outcome of the down part. You'll get to see the full look of this beautiful dress at the end of the video. So let's get down into this tutorial. So as usual, I have my materials ready. I have this poly fabric with me. You can use Cuba as well. My client actually bought this one that has design at the tip, so I would advise you buy the plain one. This is my measuring tape, scissors, chalk, and this crinoline I'll be using for this. So this is the sheared scissors I'll be using also. You can decide to use your plain scissors as well. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into 4. As you can see, I try to ignore that part that have designs, so I'm just going to fold it again into 2. So this is how it looks after folding it into 2. So I'm just going to arrange it now, and I'm going to measure what I have, and it's 12.5 inches there and 13 inches there. So I'm just going to reduce it a little. So I'll measure it again, which is 12.5 inch, and it's still giving me 13 inch, but I'll just leave it that way. So I'm just going to come down by 5 inches. So I'm just going to come down there by 5 inches. Yeah, so I marked the 5 inches there, and I'm just going to keep on marking it the way I'm turning my tape round, and I will connect it this way that I'm doing now. After doing that now, I will just give ½ inches at the top for joining allowance. So I went ahead to do the joining allowance, that's ½ inches. And from that 5 inches I marked, I'm going to come down by 7.5 inch. The length of the first step is actually 7 inches. So I added extra ½ inch for the hemming allowance. That's to turn my crinoline with it. So that makes it 7.5 inch, and I'm connecting it just this way. So this become our 360-degree flare. So I will cut it out now. Yeah, I know some of us must have heard about 360-degree flare, 720-degree flare, 1440-degree flare. So this one is actually 720-degree flare because we'll be having 360-degree flare in 2 places. So I'm just going to cut out the upper parts, and I'm going to use the sheared scissors to cut out the upper parts. Mind you, I'm cutting it, adding the allowance that I already gave. So this is me cutting it out, and this is it. I'll label it. This is the first step, and I went ahead to cut the second step because my camera didn't actually capture that part when I was cutting it. So this is it. This is the second step that I cut, and it actually measures 6 inches. Like it's 6 inches, and I added 1 inch at the top and 1 inch for the down part as well, just the way I did for the first step. So this is the second step. I'm just going to keep the first and the second steps together. So to cut the third step, I'm just going to bring it this remaining fabric, and I'm going to fold it just the same way into 4 and into 2, and I'm just going to mark it that place. So this is 12 inches. It gave 12 inches there, so I'll measure 5.5 inches there, and I'll mark it. This last step is actually 5 inches in length, so I added my hemming allowance, and I'm just going to measure what I have left there. This is 6 inches, and I'm going to connect 6 inches all the way around. So I'll mark 6 inches there just the same way I did for the first step, and I'll connect it when I'm done marking them. So after connecting that, I'm going to mark the 5.5 inches round just this way that I'm doing. So when I was done marking it, I will connect it this way and make it in a circular form. So after connecting it, I will go ahead now to add the ½ inch allowance for the upper part, and I'm just going to cut it out now. So if you noticed, I used my pinkish shears scissors to cut out the upper part because I wouldn't want to weave that area. So just giving it that design is better off for me. So this is the third step, and I'm just going to mark it there so I will know it when I'm trying to sew. So this is all the steps, all the flare we cut out for this. Actually, each flare is 720-degree flare. I'm just going to keep them aside now, and we will head over to our sewing machine to sew them up. So before that, this is the crinoline I'm going to be using. So let's get down to the sewing machine, and this is me on the sewing machine right now. So what I'm going to do now is to open up that side. We are working on the third step now, so I'll open up that area and I'm going to stitch it together. I told you it's 360-degree flare into two, so I opened it up now and I'm going to join them. That's joining one 360-degree flare to the other 360-degree flare. So this is just it here, and I will join this side and also I will join the other end, just making it to be in a circular form and closed form as well. So when I was done joining it, this is the look, and I'm just going to open on that side and bring in our crinoline, and this is it right here. I'll place it this way and I'm going to stitch it using 1/2 inch allowance that I gave for the down part. I'll stitch it round it just this way I'm doing right now. So while stitching your crinoline to the material, I would advise you don't drag it. Do not drag your crinoline or try to cut it before stitching it on it. Don't do it. Just stitch it the way you bought it and just follow what I'm doing right now to stitch yours, and also be careful while stitching it. So when I got to the end, I had to cut it out and stitch it this way. So after this now, I'll bring it out, cut out the thread, and I'm just going to fold it inside. Like I'll fold it this way, like hemming a dress. So this is how I folded it, and I'm still going to continue stitching on top of it. So I will continue stitching from there all the way around. I would advise also you shouldn't drag it and you shouldn't force your crinoline in so well. Just be flexible while doing this part so that you won't end up having ruffles on it. So I will stitch it around there and we'll continue for this tutorial. So this is the look the front side while stitching it. So I advise you use a neat stitch while doing your stitches. So when I was done, this is the outcome of this layer that I stitched. I'll bring in the second step, and this is it here, and I'm just going to repeat basically what I did for the third step. So I'm opening up that place and I'm just going to stitch one end and the other end as well. So I will bring in the crinoline and I'm going to stitch it round it using 1/2 inch allowance. And while stitching, don't drag. Remember, you shouldn't drag your crinoline when you are stitching. So I'm just going to stitch it round there and turn it over and top stitch it as well. So when I was done, I'll cut out the threads and I stitched at the tip of the crinoline, so this also helps it to relax well. So I'll advise to stitch at the tip, and this is the second step. So I'll bring in the third step, that's the first step, sorry. So I'll open up that place now and I'm going to close up this other end and close up the other end as well, and I'll go ahead to stitch it around with my crinoline and we'll continue for this tutorial. So at this point, the crinoline I had finished and I got this extra, and this is just the way you join your crinoline when the other one you were using finished. So actually I used half pack of crinoline to do this project. So for some of us, I'll be asking how many yards of crinoline did you use. I actually bought one pack of crinoline and I used it for two projects. I used it for this dress on the screen, and I also use it for this one that I'm making right now. So you can decide to buy half pack and use it. So I don't even know how many yards it will be for half packs. So this is all I did, and I got to that end, and this is it right here. So we have gotten our first, second and the third layer ready for this project. So this is the look, and I'll just bring in the other ones. So this is everything for this project. So I'll bring in the dress that I worked on. So this is the dress. I'm done making the dress. I don't know if this is the same way others do theirs, but I prefer to sew the dress completely before attaching the flare pleats at the tip. So I'll go ahead to remove the stones around it, and this is it when I was done removing the stones around it, so that it won't affect me when I'm trying to sew. So I'll open up the zip now. I'm going to start from that end, and I will start with the first step. So I'll bring in the first step, and this is me marking how many inches I have there, which is 4 inches. So I'll bring in the first step. This is the first one, and I'm just going to put it at that place close to the back slit. So I'm just arranging it there and making sure everything is well arranged. So I also make sure that I'm not stitching on top of the other one, like the down layer. So I'll be making case pleats around this flare. So I'm just going to put it this way, and for this first layer I'm just going to pleat it from there. It's not really easy after making dress and trying to put this flare, so I'm just struggling a little bit, but I'm just going to continue from there, and I will pleat it. So I'm just making the key splits there, and I observed the position of this camera wasn't so good because you're not seeing everything that I'm doing over there. So I will reposition the camera later on, and this is me making the key split there. It's actually separate, like I'm not making the key split close to each other. I'm making it a bit separate from each other. So this is it right here, and I'm just making the key splits all round to the front and to the other side back. And while making the key split, ensure you are measuring and knowing that you are on the right track, like making it in a straight line while making your key split. So ensure you're taking your measurements and also making it in a straight line. So this is me struggling to make the key split and taking the 4-inch I gave for this first step. So I will go ahead and do this all around for this first step, and the second step I'm just going to position the camera the other way. So I went ahead to reposition my camera, and this is the first step that I made, and I'll go ahead now to make the second step. So I'm just trying to push it in, like let it relax. So I'm going to make the second step there. I'm marking 1.5 inch. So the difference between the first and the second step is going to be 1.5 inch, and I brought in the second step, and I'm just going to use that 1.5 inch I marked there as a guide to stitch it all around. And I'm just going to continue making the key splits while also marking 1.5 inch and ensuring that I'm making it in a straight line. So I'll make the key splits this way. For some of us that do not know how to make key splits, this is how it looks like the pleats are going to be facing each other. That's what makes it a key split. So like I said earlier, I will have to also make sure it's in a straight line, measuring my 1.5 inch and ensuring that the pleats are all in a straight line. So at this point, I sewed on top of the other one down. So I had to bring it out and loosen it up, and this is it here. So I'm also making sure that I don't sew again on top of the other one down. So it's not actually easy. Just take your time at this point to do this. So I'm just going to be giving this distance case pleats. So I'll do this all around it and we'll continue for this tutorial. So if this video has been helpful to you up till now, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. This helps the video to get to more people that needs it. Thank you. So I got to the center back and I brought it out, cut out my thread, and this is it, the first and the second layer. So I'll bring in the third layer, which is this one, and I'm going to join it also to this dress. And I'll start from the center back as well. That's where the slits is. So I'll start from that center back. I'll bring in the third step and I'll place it there, match it up with the center back line. The distance between the third layer and the second layer is 1 inch. So I'm marking out 1 inch there, and I will place it and make the pleats that place. So I'll be making the pleats and as well matching it up and ensuring that I'm using 1 inch difference in the distance. So I'll also be measuring the 1 inch as I'm pleating. This third step flare is actually bigger because it's small in length. So the smaller in length, the wider the width of this flare. So I'm actually going to pleat it closer, like instead of giving it the distance or the space I gave for the second and the first step. I'm just going to pleat it closely so that it can accommodate all the fabric I have there. So I'm going to pleat it all around there and we continue for this tutorial. So when I got to the end, this is the inside of the dress, looking all neat and well sewn. So I'll go ahead and fit it on my mannequin and I will show you all how the full look of this outfit looks like. So guys, this is how the dress looks on the mannequin. So beautiful. I'm so happy with the outcome of this dress. The trimmings on top of it were the ones I got from the lace. So if you enjoyed this video, ensure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out other videos on my channel. Bye.